So I just want to quickly take up these few questions from yesterday's homework on page 36. So these are compound interest questions. 28,600 at 7.9% compounded semi-annually for 2 years. So A equals P times 1 plus I to the n for compound interest formula. So the principal amount is 28,600. Right, 1 plus the I right here, remember, is 7.9% divided by 2 because it's semi-annually. Calculator. And then for the n, it's going to be the 2 years times 2. So remember, it's always the same. If one is divide, the other, the I is divided by 2, and then the n is times by 2. So it's always by the same amount. So 0.079. Here, I'll move it over. So 7.9% divided by 100. Okay, and then divided by 2. So you have 0.0395 to the exponent 4. Okay, put it all on your calculator. Again, if your calculator doesn't show you what you type, you have to do it in steps, the BEDMAS by yourself. So this plus the 1 plus the equal sign, raise it to the exponent 4 plus the equal sign, and then times it by 28,600 plus the equal sign, and you get 33,393.66. Okay, don't forget to round to 2 decimal place. So you have that. For number 18, same amount, 28,600, 7% compounded, but it's quarterly this time. So for the I, it's going to be the 7.9% divided by 4. And then for the n, it's going to be 2 times 4. Right, so A equals 28,600, 1 plus 0.079 divided by 4, 0.01975 to the exponent 8. Okay, so the amount at the end plus 1, raise it to the exponent 8 times 28,600. So this amount is 33,443 and 80 cents. If you take a look at the difference right here, this subtract 33393.66. Okay, so this one was about $50 more. Right? Which is the better choice? Okay, so how many of you, I want participation, okay? How many of you say 17 is the better choice? How many of you say 18 is the better choice? Okay, those of you who said 18, Noel, why? You get more money. You get more money. How do I know it's an investment? What if this was, what if you were borrowing money, right? So if this is an investment, then yes, 18 is better. But let's say you are borrowing money, then this will end up being the better choice. Okay, so why I didn't specify here is because I want you guys to think. Okay, think about this. All of you said 18 because you get more money. But on the other hand, on EQAO, if it says this is how much you're borrowing, then it's the other way around. Okay, so if it's in an investment, then number 18. If it's a debt, then number 17. Okay. And then, okay, this one right here. So without doing any calculations, okay, obviously this one with a down payment is gonna be the cheaper option. And because the fact that I said a down payment, you don't put a down payment on a savings account. So whenever you say a down payment, you know you're paying a debt. Okay, so you know that you're paying down your principal. So in this case, these two are you're paying back. It's a debt that you're dealing with. Okay, so in that case, obviously, this one with the down payment will be cheaper, will be the better option to go with, because everything else is the same. Your principal is the same, your interest rate is the same, and your term is also the same. With that, so somebody who did their homework, Grace, did you do your homework? Okay, what did you get for 19? 17,138. Exactly? 17,138 cents. And 48 cents. Okay. 38. Oh, 38. So 17,138. Okay. And Joanna, what did you get for 20? Oh. Okay. Let's see. Sunny, what did? Oh, sorry. You weren't here yesterday. I didn't mean to pick on you. Casey, what did you get for 19? You got the same thing. Okay, good. And then 20, what did you get? 922.80 cents. Good. 88. Okay. So, oh, that's a ugly 8. Let me fix that up. 88. Okay, so when you subtract those, you save about $822.50. Okay, so when you subtract them, just putting that $2,000 down payment can save you $822.50 in interest, just in interest. So you can see the effect that it has on a down payment. And if you're thinking, oh, $2,000 down payment doesn't seem that much, but look at the interest rate. The interest rate is very high. 8% interest rate, almost 9%. So any type of down payment, even if you only put down a $1,000 down payment, it will make a big difference. Okay. So I just wanted to go over that from yesterday's homework. Again, those of you who weren't here yesterday, make sure you know the simple interest formula. All right. The question will tell you if it's simple or compound, and then the compound interest formula. And also don't forget this. This one is common sense. Principal plus interest will give you your amount. Aiden, Aaron, do you guys need to be in the hall? Doesn't sound like math though. Okay, so as long as it's about math. Okay. Uh, so on to page 37, some coding. Yes, coding again. Every once in a while. Do you have to handwrite in the next page? Well, that's why this package is thick. But if you rather do it on Scratch or like actual put it in the computer, that's fine with me too. As long as take a screenshot, take a screenshot, print it out, pin it in. Yeah. It's more yeah. So remember this is math class, so I'm only teaching you guys the logic. Okay, so I don't need you guys to have the computer science skills, and you don't need the computer science skills to do well on EQAL or final exam. All right. So every once in a while, I'm just doing like a little bit of coding on topics that fits in. So this one, just to make sure you guys don't forget about coding. Okay. So this example right here. So first off, I'm gonna set up my variables. So I'm gonna set income to 0, expense is 0, saving is 0, deficit to 0. So this is just defining my variables. Okay. Why I have to set it to 0 is because this is a computer program. So without a value, they don't know what they're storing. Okay, and then the program is going to ask you what is your total monthly income, right? And then you will input your answer. They will store it in that variable income. Obviously, again, this right here, if you use Scratch, it will work. If you use like Python, these commands won't work. So that's why we're teaching you just the idea. And then second, you're gonna ask what is your total monthly expense, and then you're gonna type in your answer. That's gonna be stored under expense. So remember this if and else statement. So the condition statement. Okay, so remember that we went over that earlier. So these are your variables. That's that. All right. So if income minus expense is greater than 0, then it means you have savings. Okay, and then that amount is going to be stored under savings. And then say you save this much this month. Otherwise, if income minus expense is 0, then that means you just made it, you break even. Okay? And then the third scenario is if your expense is more. So right here, notice it didn't even need to do another if statement, because if it's not greater, if it's not equal, then that means it's a deficit. So then it just automatically sets it to deficit, expense minus income, and then it will say that you are short this much. Okay. And notice right here, they didn't do income minus expense because they already know that you're in debt. Okay, after the if else statement. Okay. Um, so now let's say the program asks you to enter your monthly income and expense. You can, and you want to find out if you have enough money to buy something that you want. So you can do a sub program. So for example, you can set expense to 0 and then ask, do you have expense to enter? Right. So then ask what the expense are. So the program right here, you already added up all your expense. But then for this one, it's asking you to just enter your expenses one by one. So remember this repeat right here. The repeat is the loop that we talked about. Okay, so it's gonna keep repeating, asking you, what is your expense? And then as you enter each one of your expense, it's gonna add it on to the previous amount, so that this variable expense will keep track of your running total. Okay, and then it will ask you again, do you have any more expense to enter? If yes, it will loop back to the top. If no, then it will just store your final answer for expense. Okay. Examples. So if your total monthly income is 2,150 and your total expense of the month is this, which part of the program will it go through? So your income is 2,100, your expense is 2,300. All right, so will it go through one, this first one right here, this second one right here, or this third one right here? Okay, so how many of you say it's going to go through 1, 2, 3? Thank you, Erin. Thank you for those who actually participated. Okay. I saw like about 5 hands up. Right, because your expense is more than your income. So there was a difference of 215. So what would the output be? What would the output say? Zoe, what would the output be in this case? Right. Okay. So in the past, I've seen people tell me the output is you were short this month. Okay, remember it stored your amount as the variable deficit. So on in the output, it will actually give you the number, the money amount. Okay, so you can't just say to me like they were short this month, or um, they were in a deficit. Okay, that's I know they're in a deficit, but I want to know what the output is. So the output in this case is exactly written like this. Now, am I going to be picky on the assignment? Yes. Okay. If you don't have this dollar sign, if you don't have this exclamation mark, I will take half a mark off. Not because I'm mean, it's because this is part of the program. All right. So they have these symbols, they have these exact words, and so that's exactly what is going to be output. All right. So on the assignment, make sure you don't miss these little things. Okay. And it's not enough to just say you were short $250. It's the whole sentence that the computer program. It's part of a coding question. So I need you to be specific. Okay, second part. Now let's say I want to buy a new video game that costs $90. Yes, video games cost this much now. What code would you add to the program? Okay, so I want to figure out if I have $90 to buy the video game. Where do you think I should enter my sub program? In 1, 2, or 3? So I want again participation. Who says put the sub program in 1? I want to figure out if I have enough money to buy a $90 video game. So who says put it in 1? Who says put it in 2? Who says put it in 3? Let me ask that again. Who says put it in 1? Yeah, nice and high. Yeah. Okay, so definitely in 1, because if you don't have savings, you can't buy that $90 video game. So you need it to be at least this. So I am gonna insert that that scenario in here in section 1 right here. Because if it's break even, I don't need to ask you. If you're in debt, definitely don't need to ask. So in this case, I can add in right here. If savings is greater or equal to 90, then yes, you can afford the game. Otherwise, no, you cannot afford this game this month. Okay, so and notice here it's like greater or equal to. Right, so if you're equal to 90, then you can still afford the game, and then you'll be broke. You have no more money for that month. So another if else statement that you can insert within this if statement. Okay. Uh, to do that. Yeah. So that is all. Um. So it's like nothing new. We did in grade 9. The only programming language that you need to really know is the if, else, and the loop. Okay. So it's just a refresher. And then you can try these questions here on page 39 and 40. So I don't need the full program. So if you skip some lines and you like just write the general idea, it's fine with me. So page 39 and 40, I just need to know that you guys know the idea. Okay. Answers are on page 41. So you can, if you're having trouble in the first 2, you can definitely check out the answers so that you can help you do the rest. So answers are on page 41 and 42. And then tomorrow, Friday, I know it's a Friday, it's just this wrap up on the last 2 pages. So 43 and 44 is just a wrap up. And you guys can do this, and then we can take it up at the end of class, and then we'll be done this package. All right, all good? So work on page 39 and 40. 39 and 40, these 2.